Good morning, respected dignitaries, doctors, and dear friends. So, I'm Gopika Krishnan. I represent Jyoti Dev's Special Education Forum and Jyoti Dev's Diabetes Research Centers. So, Jyoti Dev's Special Education Forum is actually a platform which imparts basic and advanced knowledge in the field of diabetes for healthcare professionals who are involved in the management of diabetes. And as you know, diabetes is a very complex disease, and a teamwork is necessary for the successful management of diabetes. And through JPEF, we aim to update the recent research and whatever management guidelines that come into practice. And the team that is involved is committed to continuous learning. So JPEF was established with this sole objective, and I am privileged to be part of JPF. And we conduct annual conferences for the past 11 years and also mini JPEF CMEs every month. So these CMEs are basically intended to promote continuous learning. And as you can see here, our first conference started way back in 2013. And as you can see, we had Dr. K.V. Krishnan sir, our respected doctor, inaugurating this convention in 2013. And he arrived, the program was scheduled to start at 9 a.m. And he arrived 10 to 15 minutes prior to the conference. And I overheard Dr. Jyoti Dev sir and Dr. K.V. Krishna speaking. And it was whether to start the conference on time. So I heard sir saying, Dr. Jyoti, you need to start on time because well begun is half done. So every year, we make sure that we start the conference on time and we end the conference on time. So we have been following his golden words. And I'm specifically thankful to Dr. Devin Prabhakar sir. He has been part of the JPF family for the past 11 years. Even this is the first conference where Dr. Devin sir can be seen receiving the memento. And I'm sure that even at the 11th year of the conference, he had some prior commitments, and he made sure that he attended the conference, cancelling his prior appointment. So I'm very thankful to Dr. Devin Prabhakar sir and QPMPA for giving me this opportunity and making Jyoti Dev's Diabetes Research Center part of this QPCon. And this is the screenshot from the first JPF, the annual conference that we conducted in 2013. You can see Dr. Anjana Ranjit Mohan from Chennai speaking to a gathering of nearly 200 physicians across Kerala. And this is the screenshot of the recent JPF that we conducted in July in 2023. And we had close to 1,000 delegates, and so the conference was conducted in 4 halls. And this is the team that conducted the conference. We don't engage any event management organizers, and we conduct the conference ourselves. We have a team who do this. So basically, the objective of running a conference is basically to keep updated with the important research, learn from the horse's mouth, from the experiences, the trial and errors, and share the best practices and develop new skills and techniques through workshops, talk shows, etc. And let me tell you this. Organizing a conference requires a lot of perseverance and dedication, and the organizer should be prepared for the financial stress that is involved in conducting a convention, the roller coaster of emotions, and the organizer and the team basically need to sacrifice their social and family life for at least 6 months for a successful conference. So let's see what are the ingredients of a pre-conference planning. So concept generation is the first thing. Every event starts with a concept, and the organizer needs to conceptualize what is the theme, what are the targeted attendees, whether it should be organized on a national or international level, mapping the need of the target audience to the areas of their interest, and we also need to determine the goals to be achieved by conducting a conference. So, and the next step is establishing a conference committee. You need to have an organizing committee, and since this is a medical conference, you also need to have a scientific committee to implement the concept. And this should be done at least 1 year if you are planning a big conference, like an annual conference. And it also depends on the size of your conference. What are the intended delegates, and what is the targeted audience, and what is the conference size like. And the organizing committee should be subdivided into subcommittees, and each of the individual members should be assigned with different tasks so that they meet the deadlines and they meet the assigned tasks. And we also need to have, we need to attract the target audience, so we can have abstract submissions, some maybe awards can be designed for the particular conference. And this should be led by the scientific committee, and there should be a chairperson and secretary who will be guiding all these subcommittees. And the responsibilities include finding the venue, accommodation, hospitality, designing the scientific program, the brochure, the audio-visual, logistics, which is very, very important for the successful conduction of a conference, promoting and marketing, delegate kits, finance, fundraising, exhibits, food, etc. And the subcommittee should be meeting the deadlines, and the process should be periodically updated to the organizing committee by the committee members. So the basic planning should go into blocking the date, venue, and accommodation. So a suitable date should be selected, and it shouldn't be clashing with any of the national functions, key days, or any other major important events. And the venue should be considered depending upon the number of delegates, and also it should be centrally located so that all your faculty can reach on time. Adequate space should be available for a scientific program. If you're having exhibit stalls for your medical conference, you need to make sure that there are sufficient space for having the exhibit stalls. Parking should be there. Information should be there on the audio-visual, in-house catering arrangements. And if you're planning a conference like you are going to accommodate maybe 300 to 400 doctors, you need to block all the hotels in addition to your venue hotel. So this should be done in advance, and this should be the venue and the accommodating hotel should be blocked at least 6 months in advance. If you can do it at least 1 year, that is extremely convenient for the smooth conductance of the conference. So this is one of the pictures from our archives where we visited the center last year for the conference. And next is selecting the keynote speakers. So the keynote speakers and all the faculty is going to be the integral part of your conference. So make sure that you find out the best speakers from the list that is prepared to you, and you also need to make sure that these speakers are available for your conference, because most of the top-rated keynote or the key opinion leaders are difficult to be accommodated as per your schedule and as per your date. So make sure that you block all the top-rated speakers well in advance so that you don't miss their lectures, and their detailed profile, topics, etc. will attract more of target audience. So make sure that you get their profiles well in advance along with their pictures to be featured in your brochure. And post-COVID, there are a lot of online presentations. Many of them are not willing to travel, so make sure that you also have a provision for online presentation where the faculty can join from anywhere in the world. And please make sure that you conduct periodic meetings, at least 1 to 2 meetings per month to gather ideas. You need to have update on the work, the time frame, and brainstorming and generating collective ideas. And also, you also need to have minutes prepared for each of the meetings so that we make sure that each of the organizing committee members are on the same page with regard to the vision and conduct of the conference. So this is one such organizing committee meeting that we held during the past JPF convention, where you can see Dr. Ajit Kumar sir, Dr. Sunil Prashop sir, Krishnan Dev being part of the organizing committee meeting. And next comes the financial consideration. Actually, this is the first thing that you should be considering, and I have put the slide it's a separate one because you need to look at the expenditure of the conference, and this will help you to forecast and conceptualize your conference. Expenditures should be calculated based on the venue, the number of delegates who are going to come into your conference, the logistics that is involved, the scientific program, designing your brochure and printing your brochure. And also, income should be identified based upon the sponsorship, whether you are aiming for some funding agencies or maybe pharmaceutical sponsorships, or if you're looking for funding from your registration fees, you need to have a clear-cut idea of from where your income is going to come. And you also need to maintain a separate bank account for each of your conference every year, because there are a lot of income tax rules that have come into existence as of now. And so you should be very much vigilant about keeping the conference budgeting transparent so that you don't face any audits later on, because there are a lot of issues there are a lot of issues that comes into play when you conduct conferences, so you must be prepared for that. And you also need to keep your conference live on your social media platforms. proper website should be maintained to disseminate information about your conference. New information should be updated regularly on your conference website. The conference brochure should be prepared and it should be updated, and you also need to apply a CME credit hours so that your doctors who are, the physicians who are attending will get benefited. So this is a screenshot from our website maintained by our IT team. And these are some of the screenshots of the brochures that we created for the last conference. And you also need to have your registration rates and deadlines on your website. Delegates should be given different modalities of payment, and the registration should be closed at least 15 days so that you get ample time in planning your delegate kits, your logistics, as well as the food and beverage. And immediate acknowledgement of the registration must be done to ensure registration. And this is a screenshot of the registration portal. And you also need to announce your abstract submissions, and you make sure that you close the abstract submission well in advance. And you must be displaying, you can send emailers and maybe flyers to all your potential doctors. And it should be called by a website. And if you have a portal like this where they can put in their abstracts, this will be good because it helps in the smooth conductance, and you can send it to the judging committee so that the entire process of deciding on which abstracts to be selected for an oral and poster this makes it easier. And the details of the abstract, including the area of topic, the time of presentation, the format of presentation, etc., the deadlines, all of these can be communicated to the doctors who are interested in submitting abstracts to the conference. And next comes the scientific program consideration. The program schedule should be prepared. The title, the name of the speaker, sessions, co-chairs, etc. And also, specifically, the time limit, the time that is given to each speaker should be communicated to the speaker well in advance, both the chairperson and the faculty well in advance, so that they stick to your time frames. And you also need to send emailers regarding the PowerPoint presentation, what is the the format of the presentation. All these should be communicated to your speakers well in advance so that they are much aligned with how the conference runs. And you also need to send them, you need to maintain a constant touch with them through, maybe you can create WhatsApp groups of the speakers and also the your fundraisers, so that it is easier for you to communicate when you are reaching the conference dates. So 1 week before the conference, you need to have a final pre-conference meeting. Checklist must be prepared so that you are not lacking in any of those major points. Organizers should make sure that the speakers and chairpersons are fully aware of the preparations of the conference, the venue, and the audio visual. These are some of the key points where problems can happen when you're conducting the conference. So this should be reassessed and reconfirmed to avoid obstacles. Delegates kits should reach you at least 1 week before the conference. Media officials, you can conduct press conferences, you can send press releases so that the media officials are informed about such a conference that is happening. You also need to have signboards which shows the venue clearly, conference boards, a token of love, maybe memento or some nice gifts can be designed for your faculty who are joining you, and also for the delegates. So these are some of the pre-conference pictures. And on the day of the conference, organizing committee members should arrive at the venue well in advance and ensure that all the setups are done as planned. You should provide good hospitality at the entrance, as Dr. Devin Prabhakar was doing today. So the registration desk should also be well organized. Coming to the scientific sessions should be started on time, and the time limitation of each speaker should be announced, and this should be communicated to the chairperson as well. So a responsible person from the scientific committee should be there, available all the time, so that if there is a need for making quick decisions or change of the agenda, this should be done in the specific time that is allotted to you. So adequate space should be allotted for the poster presentations as well. So this is something that we tend to forget. So you make sure that you give a separate space for your poster presentations and your oral presentations. And coming to ending the conference, a press conference can be organized so that you sum up the conference outcome and the plans, and the organizing committee should be available in the venue until the program is wrapped up and all the necessary arrangements are made for the proper maybe ending the conference in a better way. All the speakers must be provided with proper hospitality until they depart the conference. So this is very important because you always want your speakers to come back the next year. And we are sure that despite all the careful planning, something is sure going to happen, which is obviously inevitable. So that need to be addressed continuously all throughout all the days of the conference. And many of the problems which arise are usually predictable, and we have simple solutions for those as well. Maybe faulty audio visual is one thing. You always need to have backups for your audio visual. Speakers can arrive late, or some may cancel their trip, so you need to have backup speakers who are really maybe regional speakers who are ready to take up assignments at the last minute. And of course, natural calamities, because once for maybe 2 years, in 2018 and 19, we had floods in Kerala, and we had the annual conference running exactly on the same date. So you can imagine the amount of stress and the unpredictable events that would be happening, because all the airport, the railway stations were shut down, and we had faculty coming in from every part of Kerala. So you must be prepared for all the natural calamities when you're conducting a conference in Kerala. So this is one problem that that can arise when you're conducting a conference. Unforeseen emergencies, some death in the family of a dear member of the organizing committee, all this can happen. So you must be prepared, and you must have your backup plans in place. You need to have a plan B. And lectures always can run late, and make sure that you leave specific time in between your lectures, so that if a speaker maybe if a speaker is speaking more than the allotted time, you always have time for the next speaker, and their time is not compromised. So make sure that you leave some amount of time in between each of your lectures. And dealing with criticism is something that is inevitable for any conference. So you need to usually criticisms are negative, and you need to learn constructive criticisms are always it always helps you in making your conference better, and we have learned from all those negative criticisms in the long run. And if you're having some false criticism, you need to have a smiling face, so that you keep relaxed, you keep composed, and you spread positive vibes all throughout the conference. So keep a smiling face. And post-conference, a thanks note should be to be sent to all the speakers and sponsors in writing. And also, if you have a WhatsApp group, just post it there that you are thanking all of them wholeheartedly. Feedback should be provided to them. Feedback forms or maybe Google links can be sent to them, so that you get to know what are your strengths and your weaknesses. Uploading the photos of the conference, the videos of the lectures will also help you get a better visibility of the conference. Financial audit is a must post-conference, and the conference, make sure that the conference is not over till all the follow-up tasks have been done, including sending the speaker fees to your speakers. So in conclusion, a successful conference relies on advanced planning, delegation, follow-through, and dedication of the organizers. And it enriches the organizer's experience, and it also creates a good impression to the scientific community, so that they come back to you year after year for your conference. So make sure that you have a validatory function towards the end of your conference, because getting a standing ovation is always nice, and it adds on to your mileage to conduct the conference next year even better. So I take the privilege of inviting all of you present here to JPF 2024, the 12th year of conference, next year on the 12th, 13th, and 14th of July at Uday Samudra, Trivandrum. Thank you very much for your patient hearing.